Hey everybody, Andrew Zimmern, Ask Me Anything, looking to sign up, subscribe, ask me questions, do so right down below. You can click right there. Let's get right to it, shall we? Yes, unasked question. I'm coming to you from a different place in my office. Thought we'd mix it up a little bit. You had to be bored with that look at my house when I'm sitting on the other side of my island, or if I'm sitting in my office or Molly's office. Just ridiculous. Nico asks, what do you think are some fun international examples of culinary fusion? None? We'll get to that in a second. Nico writes, I read about a Mexican chef moving to Denmark and doing some sort of farm-to-table Danish tacos and other fusion dishes. I would have never even thought of that. It's great. I don't know who you're talking about, so I can't say whether or not I like it. But here's what I do know. Just because you can do it doesn't make it good. So famously, Roy Choi, put Korean barbecue on a taco, right? And I'm sort of exaggerating to make a point, but it lit up the international food universe because not only was it clever, but it wound up tasting fantastic, and it was smart food, right? Because the translation was super easy. A lot of Mexican tacos feature a grilled or spit roasted or stewed meat of some kind, and then acidic and spicy and fermented foods. Think pickled onions, spicy salsas, tomatoes, crunchy thing, right? A lot of contrast that accent it, and it's wrapped in something. So you can see where Roy must have sat there and thought to himself, well, I can just put, some samjang sal or some, beef short rib into that same thing with some kimchi and do it in a soft or hard taco shell, and we're off to the races. And he was right. And he helped redefine street food for a generation and a platform for him to get into restaurants. Brilliant. I have seen more things like that fail than succeed. Now, I will give you a international fusion food that is less fusiony than most people think, and that's the KFC, Korean fried chicken boom. That's actually a Korean thing. A lot of people think someone came over here and put gochujang, a sauce, Korean spicy, glazy, sweet, garlicky sauce around American fried chicken. Not true. Different style of fried chicken, something invented over there that we just happen to love. But you'd be surprised how many people think it's theirs or ours. Most combinations of things that I've tasted where you're actually blending cultures and foods is like, Some things that I have found that have worked insanely well is taking the idea of ramen, right? A broth, a noodle, a tare, liquid seasoning, some crunchy elements on the top, and shooting it through the prism of another country's cuisine. But I'm not really a big fusion food guy. Like if someone says to me, "Oh, aren't you excited? There's a new Italian restaurant using only native North American First Peoples foods." I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather eat at Awamni, that is native Minnesotan First Peoples food restaurant, and then the next night a great Italian restaurant. But that's just me. And I hate the cliche, fusion is confusion. I just think fusion, if you want to do serious Italian pasta, but you want to use local ingredients to you because you're a cook in Newfoundland, that's fantastic. That's not fusion. That's just inspired cooking, right? All right, Rusty, loved your AMA about Anthony Bourdain. I guess I did that maybe on his birthday or the anniversary of his death. Can you do one called What I Love Most About Guy Fieri? Yes, we can. Here's what I love most about Guy Fieri. He's got an incredibly big heart. He's one of the most generous and kind human beings I know of. He's a friend of mine, but he lives in California, works, and has a big family. I live here in Minnesota, work, have a family. We don't meet each other every week for lunch, but I don't think a month goes by that I don't get a text from him somewhere, wherever he is, saying, how are you? How's your kid? How's life? He checks in on his friends. I just think that says it all about someone, right? When so many different problems started to plague our universe a bunch of years ago, Guy could have sat quietly on the sidelines, but instead leapt in and started literally himself with a spatula and a pair of tongs, started grilling for firefighters battling some of the big Northern California fires, and has gone on to found I think it's called is it the Knuckles Foundation or Guy Fieri Foundation? I'm blanking on the name of it, but he started a foundation, has been doing incredible things, raising millions and millions of dollars with other partners to help support restaurant workers during the COVID era. He's a real other-centered person, much more than most people think. I would Google this great New York Times article where they interviewed him and talked about the change in his, I hate to say brand, but the changes in him. The first 10 years he kind of burst on the scene versus the last 10 years of what has essentially been a 20-year career. How long ago did he win Food Network Star? 18, 19 years ago? So think about it. It's pretty amazing. Great human being. The other thing that I love most about him is look at his family. His wife, his kids are phenomenal human beings. They must know something. It's usually the way it is. Look at someone's family. It says a lot about them. And I think the last thing that I would add is everybody is confused because they look only, I shouldn't say everybody, some people are confused because they only look at the smoke and the mirrors. We all use smoke and mirrors, right? Does he have spiky hair? Sure he does. Does he wear a lot of jewelry? Sure he does. Does he have some fun shtick? Sure he does. That's part of the magic of him. He's an entertainer. He's in the entertainment business. But look at what he actually does, Don't look at what he looks like or even some of the things he says. Look at what he does. He does cool stuff, and he's a good man, and he's a good friend. So that's what I love most about Guy Fieri. Dell. Oh, here's an interesting, I love this kind of question. I know it's dorky. Dell writes, what's your favorite airport? Let's go international. Hamad Airport in Doha is a mind-boggler. Stunning new airport, beautiful architecturally, insanely luxurious. Doha is the capital of Qatar. And so while a lot of you may not fly through there, if you're doing anything in the Levant and area, you can fly through there. It's also a fun place to visit. Superb food, and obviously it's the hub airport for Qatar Airways, which is great. Tokyo, Haneda Airport, one of the world's busiest, is insane. It's 30 minutes south of Tokyo. Services all of Asia. They have 3 terminals, 2 domestic and 1 international. Obviously, I've used both because I've traveled within Japan from Tokyo and then back to Tokyo, and also the international terminal. And as you would imagine, the food is amazing. Changi Airport in Singapore might be my favorite. I overnighted there, spent basically 17 hours on a layover. So I got off the plane, ate an incredible meal in the airport, then stayed in the airport hotel, which was extremely luxurious for an airport hotel. Great amenities, came back through the air, slept, had lunch in the airport, which is incredible. Sit-down restaurants, fast. I mean, it's just immaculate with incredible Malay food, Japanese food, Thai food, Chinese. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. And the kind of thing that you want to eat. There's a fruit store Last time I was there was a fruit store. You just buy delicious fresh fruit, like ultra ripe, and bring it on board. I loved it. And they have a ton of cool experiences. I mean, COVID may have slowed some of this stuff down, but when I was there last, there was a movie theater in there because they know people are on long layovers there in Singapore. What else? Oh, Seoul's airport, Incheon, and has won Airport of the Year a million times. Super clean, super beautiful, amazing food. You know, I know I've mentioned 4 of the last 5 have been all Asian airports. They're immaculate. They have great food. I never get my luggage lost. Everything is a breeze. Signage is incredible. There's no confusion about where to go. Please don't hate me, residents of the beautiful city of Bangkok. I love you. I love you. But your airport needs better signage. I've been there a dozen times, and every time I try to go through customs, I go down the wrong lane. Charles de Gaulle Airport, incredible food. I know it's super busy. I know it's confusing to people, and I know that you probably don't care about a baguette or la durée, macarons and tea as much as I do, but God, I love de Gaulle Airport. Munich, as it should be, runs like clockwork. It's great. And 50 different places to eat and drink. It's absolutely fantastic. And probably the last one that comes, I don't know, Zurich? I mean, it is, here's what's great about Zurich. It's literally 15 minutes from downtown. So you land at the airport, your hotel in half an hour. And like most things Swiss, it runs like clockwork. See what I did there? So your luggage is like boom, boom, boom. Great food, super, super, super convenient and great. So those would be the ones that come to mind for me. Great questions this week. As always, become a subscriber. Please help us keep the lights on. Please, impassioned plea from embattled company owner. Spread the news. Send a link to Spilled Milk to your friends. Let them see what they're missing. We'd love to have your friends participate. Anyway, have a great rest of your week. Take care. Bye-bye.